Hello, it's Mike of Mike and Mike from Mammon. Before the episode gets started, I thought I'd leave a quick apology. Partway through this episode, my lovely son pulls out my microphone. There's a slight dip in the quality of the audio because of that, and also the audio that we use to record ourselves separately, mine got corrupted, so unfortunately we had to use one in which I'm unable to edit the two of us separately, if that makes any sense. So I hope you enjoy the episode still despite this. It feels like we're back to the beginning days of the podcast, but we've done the best with what we can. Enjoy today's episode.
Hello and welcome to Mammon, a podcast where two mics discuss their top fives. This week we are going back to games with our top 5 online games, and I'm going to start this again because I've got a grizzly baby on me. You got to be quiet for 30 seconds, yeah? Right. Hello and welcome to Mammon, the only podcast where you can listen to two mics discussing their own personal top 5s. This week we're back to the topic of games, and it's our top 5 online games. I'm going to apologise in advance if you can hear a baby every now and again, because I've got a slightly unhappy one with me at the moment. There he is, he's saying hi in the episode. Say hi. Right, so online games, how have you found making this topic?
Easy, but I don't know how much of an expert I feel, and some of them I've not played in quite a long time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got my list pretty easy, but then it's one of them that I'm sort of, I like it, but I'm questioning it at the same time.
See, I like my list, but like you, some of them I haven't played in a very long time. I think I've definitely thought outside the box and got quite a wide variety of games here. So hopefully we won't have any crossovers with any. But yeah.
Fingers crossed. Well, I've purposely tried to leave one out that I think you may pick.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Which now makes me think you've not picked it.
I just say, because I don't think we've talked about many MMOs.
No, but I'm not
games,
thinking. Yeah, but I like online games. Anything you can play online, really.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. If it doesn't feature by the end of the whole episode,
yeah,
we'll get I don't know what we'll call the topic, but Mike's revision. And you can,
later down the line?
Yeah, later down the line, you can mention it and say which one you might bump from your list.
Okay.
How's that sound?
Deal. Yeah, sounds good to me.
Alright, how's your week been?
Yeah, good. Last week off work before I broke up for Easter holidays. This is my first day off, which is nice.
Yeah.
Sean's having to self-isolate, so I've had to cancel all my garden plans I've had.
Yeah. Quite unfortunate. You get an actual holiday, and actually you don't get a holiday in a sense, because you're having to isolate for some of it.
Yeah, well, the right side is normally I get knackered after a breakup. I feel like adrenaline gets me through, and then I feel like shit. So yeah, in some ways, maybe it's nice to take it easy.
Yeah, you can relax and sort of not get that side get to you.
Yeah,
very nice. Well, I've just been working flat out.
You had to make up for all the time you had off with the baby.
I had 2 weeks annual leave in which I had to swap a few shifts around to make sure I got it. So I've done 18 days in a row. So today's my first day off. So I feel quite awake and surprisingly with it. But it's nice to actually have a day off. We've had some friends over today in the garden, and it's been surprisingly nice weather.
Yeah, it's been good, as they've said. Well, it was meant to be like apocalyptic next week, but I think it's changed. It's going to be okay-ish.
Yeah. Well, fingers crossed for the sake of everyone's sanity, so that we can actually continue meeting people outside happily. People will still meet outside in the cold, but it's nicer when it's nice weather. You can have a barbecue or something, isn't it?
That's it. Well, I think it's okay if you're walking, isn't it? But to actually sit in a garden when it's freezing is not the best.
Well, for us, it's like letting people meet the baby, but being outside is actually not the best place for him to be. So, yeah, it's fine. It is what it is, even if it's only for an hour. Lauren literally put him in the world's biggest coat today. She was like, "Oh, this will fit him," and it just swallowed him alive. It was like, well, at least he's warm.
About to say, yeah, basically a blanket.
Yes, exactly. Right, should we get down to the nitty gritty?
Let's do it.
Right, top 5 online games. Let's go. Right, let's hear your number 5 choice.
My number 5 is Call of Duty, but specifically Black Ops 2.
Okay.
Because I thought zombies were amazing. I played so much online zombies on this game.
Yeah.
And even the online mode, like the team deathmatch, search and destroy, things like that, I really enjoyed. I enjoyed the maps, the guns. And it was before they went through the phase with I feel like anyway, where you started having like jetpack on their back or whatever it was, booster packs, so you could sort of fly around a bit. And I was like, no.
Really? You can do that sort of thing on Call of Duty now?
Yeah, so it's like double jump, I guess, and you have like a little jetpack that boosts you up a bit.
Yeah, it seems almost ridiculous.
Yeah, well, it's just, I don't know, it just added, for me, it just added more chaos.
Yeah.
And a little less tactics, because before it was like very much time was like lanes and you could learn the map and stuff like that, and there was strategy, whereas all of a sudden someone's jumped on something and they're behind you and just shoot you back.
Yeah.
And you couldn't really plan for that as much.
No, definitely not.
So it was a lot of like run and gun rather than any tactics. But yeah, I've just looked as well, the storyline. I can't remember if I played it or not, but it's got Sam Worthington from Avatar. It's got Gary Oldman. So it's got Michael Keaton. It's got quite a few big names in here.
On the actual campaign, so the single player mode.
Yeah.
Okay. They always tend to get big names, don't they, in it?
Yeah, well, I feel like I'm definitely going to replay this now.
Yeah. Well, I am not very good at any shooting games, so I tend not to actually avoid most of them online. I'll play the campaign mode, the single player, but obviously we're talking about the online version of these games. And I am just absolutely shocking, and I haven't got the time. I think we've discussed it before. Haven't got the hours to sink into a game to become good like that. We're casual gamers, me and you. Absolutely casual gamers.
100%.
And yeah, just being beaten by someone who tells me that they're going to then fuck my mum just isn't the idea of fun for me.
Can you imagine if every time that threat got thrown around, it actually happened in the world?
Yeah, just as a little kid arrives at anyone's mum's house and threatens, it's like, oh, I was just playing against Gary online, your son. I'm here to fuck you now.
I mean, I promise. I said I would, so I have to follow through.
This has got incredibly crude, this chat.
I hope your mum doesn't listen to this one.
I hope she doesn't. I know my sister listens. Natasha, I'm sorry.
But yeah, it was so good. I remember playing a map called Mob of the Dead, a zombies one, where it was like The Rock, the film with Nicolas Cage and Sean Connery.
Yes.
And
James Bond, but on an island.
Yeah, and then there was High Rise. There was so many good maps on there. I remember just playing so many times, just trying to beat our record of how many levels we survived on it. No leaderboard against other people. It was just us three working as a team, just see if we could get further and further and further along.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, it's very cool.
I wish I was good enough to play those sort of games. Like even the zombies mode, which you do tend to play with friends, don't you? You don't play with randomers usually.
Yeah.
Even that I'm absolutely atrocious with.
We'll maybe have to play a game one time.
But yeah, I think part of the issue is I don't know how it works. Like you board up you blockade something and then all turn around and the zombies are there. How are you meant to sort of, I don't know, it annoys me.
You do just, it's one of those, you do just get better the more you play, and you learn little tricks, and then you Google stuff to find out some little secrets you didn't know. Yeah,
Call of Duty, like I say, it's just a game that I think as well, they do, they're the FIFA of the shooting game as well.
Yeah, definitely.
They rehash this. And it is like zombies, a lot of people say that they get it every year just for the zombies version. And it's like, but it's still the same game every single time.
To be fair to them, and I don't think this is always a compliment, but the zombies, I feel like, do feel different every year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I just wish they would do, as a Call of Duty Zombies, just the whole game is just zombies.
Okay. That would be quite cool.
Yeah.
They I tell you what, one of the best games they ever did that sort of thing with was, and they definitely should have done it for the sequel, Red Dead Redemption, when they did Undead Nightmare.
Yeah, I never played it.
It was
so I heard loads of people
just a zombie version of the game, and it was just so good.
Was it just you trying to survive, like a bit like a Walking Dead?
No, it had missions and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah, you were obviously trying to survive, but yeah, there was missions and a storyline. I never really played the storyline; it was just a lot of fun. But yeah, they should definitely have done it for the sequel if they're not planning.
I don't know. They're just so obsessed now, Rockstar, with their online version.
I know, and I tell you,
it's such a shame because the beauty of that company was that they were the sort of the go-to. If you like the single player game, that was the go-to company, and now they've become the opposite.
I take it you haven't included GTA Online on your list?
No, I never really got into it. I don't think it's a bad feature or anything like that. I think as well, maybe I would have done, when it first came out, if by this point they'd already brought a new GTA out. But I think because they've obviously just gone, it's just milking so much money, so many kids, and probably adults as well, buying the packs of money to buy new cars and guns and stuff like that.
Oh, you're on about loot stuff. I was on about, in terms of milking the game, I own it on 2 generations of consoles now.
Oh, yeah, so do I. I've got it on 3. I had it on a 360, I got it on the Xbox One, and now I've got it on the PS4.
Yeah, me and you did download it recently to actually play the online. We never have.
Well, it's because we started podcasting. Yeah. We just don't have time for games anymore with each other. But we'll have to try and eke some time out maybe over the holidays.
Yeah, definitely that.
So yes, that's my number 5. What about you?
Solid choice for number 5. Before I go on to my 5, I'm just going to attempt to put the little one in his Moses basket and see how well this goes, because he's fallen asleep on me. Right, mission success. Right, my number 5 is a game that everyone in the whole world became obsessed with, adults and children alike, for at least a year. And it was released in 2016, and it actually got people outside in the open fresh air. And it's Pokemon Go.
Nice.
Oh, I thought you were about to say something sarky then, because you went quiet.
No, I was just trying to work out what I thought you were going to say Farmville for a second. You know that Facebook game that became obsessed with?
How did that get everyone outside in the open?
Well, no, but then when you said that, I realised it was Pokemon Go.
Oh, so you built up disappointment in your head. And then,
well, no, Pokemon Go is a better game than Farmville. I never played Farmville, to be honest, but in my head I was like, nailed it. I've got Farmville.
No, it was like, it wasn't much to the game, but it was everyone's dream, obviously, when there's a kid to be a Pokemon trainer, wasn't it? Everyone wanted to sort of like imagine this world was completely real and they'd be able to go out and catch Pokemon to fight against each other, which is actually a bit sadistic as well. The idea of the Pokemon world is a bit cruel. Imagine, it's basically like cockfighting. That's frowned upon. But yeah, it's okay in the Pokemon world. Let two Pidgeots go against each other. That's fine. Anyway.
Because there's no blood, they only faint, apparently, so you're alright.
But yeah, like the amount of people, because I was in Cheltenham and Gloucester, well, I lived in Cheltenham at the time, and bear with me 2 seconds, because Lauren's texting me. She's trying to watch Law and Order SVU, but it's not working. Right. Yeah, so I was living in Cheltenham and Gloucester at the time when this came out, and I think I actually downloaded it when it was in a different country, because I just really wanted to play the game. But like, you'd go into the park, and so there was a massive park where I used to live next door, and there would just be people just roaming around, just trying to catch the Pokemon. You see people gathering because suddenly there was a really rare Pokemon in sort of this area, so everyone would charge there. And it was actually, even though people were hooked to their phones, it was actually so nice seeing so many people outside in the fresh air actually doing a semi-sporty activity. They did well for that, to be fair to Pokemon Go, even if it was a bit. I don't think it lived up to the hype of everyone in terms of people wanted to battle against each other and things like that, didn't they?
Yeah, I think as well there. I think almost a bit disappointing with how limited it was. Yeah, in some ways,
it had the potential, but I think it's still growing in its community and it's still adding stuff to the game, isn't it? Like, I haven't played it in a very, very long time, so my knowledge is still like sort of first year. But yeah, I think they added more than just the first generation of Pokemon and things like that. And yeah, people, I did really enjoy it. And I remember there was a gym literally in the hospital that I used to work at, and I used to live right next door to the hospital as well. So I'd like every now and again just see whether this gym was available or not, and just go on a little walk just to try and capture it. Probably taking it away from the little kids who was in the hospital playing the game.
Bastard.
Yeah, I did think about that at the time. I was like, maybe there's some kids who are actually playing the game in hospital, and I just keep on going along and stealing it from them. But apparently that's the kind of heartless person I am.
I think it's cool how many people say they lost a load of weight. From the walk. Because I think if you had an egg and you put an incubator, if you walked, it would hatch. Is that right?
Yeah. So people would obviously go on walks to get up the levels, but you couldn't go on drives and stuff because it'd notice it if you was driving.
Yeah, it's cool that.
So you physically would have to walk, and that was just the great thing about it.
Yeah, I never really played it. The only time I went with my friend to Belfast, which was awesome, and he had it, so I got it then as well. So then, because we used to go to this pub and play pool, and it had like a gym and loads of like rarish Pokemon used to come there. So yeah, I played it for a week.
But it's not one that you actually sought out when it first came out, is it not?
No, I think my problem was when it first came out, you know, one of those first teas before it was properly released.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be what I'd hoped for since I was a kid, which was like a proper Pokemon RPG, you know, like Skyrim, but Pokemon. And then, obviously, it wasn't anything like that. So I think I was just
disappointed.
Yeah, from it.
Well, I think there is a Pokemon RPG coming out, Pokemon Legends.
Yeah, there is, isn't there? Yeah.
Which does look it looks very Legends of Zelda, what's it called?
Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild, yes.
Yeah, it does look like Breath of the Wild, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you still use it now?
I don't know, but I'm intrigued because I am reading here that in January 2020 they rolled out an online battle league which allows players to fight other players worldwide. So that's sort of like part of it that sort of put me off. I wanted to fight against my friends and stuff, and they have got player versus player trainer battles as well as online ones as well.
That's cool.
So it sort of intrigues me a bit more now. But I'll tell you something, my battery life has thanked me for not playing it.
I can imagine. Yeah, I think there was a massive sale of portable battery chargers, wasn't there?
Yeah.
I think after it came out.
Yes. You can get like one shaped Pokeballs. On the subject of games similar to this, I used to play another game called Snatch, which went away for a while, but then came back. But it's exactly the same thing. Like, you'd go around and collect things, except this time they were boxes. And what you had to do is you had to keep hold of these boxes for 4 hours, I think it was. And people could, like, if you was in their vicinity, you could steal the boxes, and then you'd have to be on your phone to defend it. If you weren't on your phone, they'd snatch it straight away. So at the end of the 4 hours, if you still held onto these boxes, you'd get a prize, and sometimes it could be cash value. So I think I got about sort of £100 playing this game for a year.
What?
But then it vanished. The game just vanished for a bit. And then it came back, and it's just not as good anymore. The prizes aren't as big.
That was cool.
But yeah, it was quite a good game. Right, but yeah, Pokemon Go for my number 5 choice.
I like that one. And like you say, to be honest, it didn't even cross my mind, but in the last, 4 or 5 years, you can't mention online games without that, really, can you?
No.
So thank you for making our list sound a little bit more legitimate.
Okay.
My number 4 then is a game
I haven't asked you what your number.
Oh, sorry. Do you want to?
Let's keep this professional, right? It's the one thing we've got going for us professionalism. Right. So let's go for your number 4.
Okay, my number 4 is a game I played around a friend's house, and it is not a couch co-op game at all. It's literally online, one player.
Okay.
But we just would take it in turns. We'd watch, whoever was playing, and then we'd swap it around each time. And it is a game called Dead by Daylight.
Okay, I think I know. Is it a one-player game?
Well, I think if you have multiple computers, obviously online, you can play probably together. But we were all around one person's house, and we were meant to be playing a load of couch co-op games that you can play with on one screen, but you can't multi-screen it.
Oh, okay. So you take it in turns playing it.
Yeah, well, in fact, actually, what we ended up doing is someone ended up bringing their Xbox round and a second TV, so we could have 2 players, and there was 4 of us, so we kept switching.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
So I have actually got this game, but I couldn't get into it as much, so do you want to explain what it is for the listener?
Yeah, so you have a team of survivors, like in a horror film, and a killer. So you have, I think it's...
They are real killers from films, aren't they?
Yeah, some of them are made up for the game, and then some are real, but I think you have to pay for them.
Oh, okay.
So you've got like Freddy Krueger, you've got Leatherface from Chainsaw Massacre, you've got Michael Myers from Halloween, you've got Ghostface from Scream, Pyramid Head from Silent Hill, is it, I think?
Yeah.
So yeah, you got the Pig from, I think, Saw.
Yeah.
And then you've got some cool ones that they've sort of made up or I guess adapted from just, like general horror. There's this one that's, I think it's called The Nurse, and she can like teleport a little bit. And just a sort of a ghost-looking nurse. It's just a bit of a horror cliche, isn't it? But it's quite cool. And
probably based on Nurse Ratched from in terms of horror type nurse.
Yeah. Well, there's one called The Trapper, which I'm assuming was meant to be like off Saw maybe before they got like contracts for certain stuff. But yeah, anyway, it's I think you have 4 survivors or 5. I can't remember the top of my head. And essentially, you've got these generators to open some doors on the map, and you've got to try and get the generators running. And then the doors open and you try and escape. And as this is going on, the killer is going around trying to kill all the survivors. So it's cool. So then when he gets them, or she, whoever, depending on what type of killer the player's chosen, they put them on a hook, like a meat hook. And if you leave them there long enough, they die. That kind of does. So you can try and save them. And so it's one of those, because obviously the more survivors you have, the easier it is to escape, because you've got more people working on getting the generators open. But sometimes the killer will sort of wait around the person they've hung up, like waiting for people to come save them. So sometimes you just leave them to it and try to
sacrifice someone.
Yeah, I always try and do it because I hate when no one comes and saves me. So I feel like this guilt where I've got to. And there's an unofficial rule that I can't remember what it's called now, like baiting or something like that, where the killers are not supposed to just wait around someone on a hook.
Oh, okay.
Like I say, it's not an official rule, but it's a sort of unofficial rule that people don't do.
So the reason I struggled with this game is because I didn't realise you have to be quiet. So when you're starting up the generators, it makes noises, doesn't it?
Yeah, especially when you get a quick action event, don't you? So it's you'll be doing it, you've got to press a button as it pops up on the screen quick enough or something like that, or you get something like a needle that spins and you've got to get it in the right section. And if you miss that, then it makes a noise. And they can come and get you.
So I didn't realise this, and I made all the noise under the sun. But
it's
another game in which I just didn't have the time to sink in hours to become good at it. So I was just awful, and it just wasn't fun being attacked and, like you say, hung up. Constantly.
Well, do you know what? And that was what was great about it. Although it's obviously a game you meant to play, at home, online, so to speak, even with your friends. But we had there was 4 of us. One of them he was really good at it. He'd played it a lot. And the other 3, first time we ever played it. So it was brilliant, because he played the first few and was talking through what he was doing, why he was doing it. And then as we played, he would sort of coach us at first. You have to tell us little things, little bits of advice. And it made me really sad about it. And that's what I love. Online games are amazing, particularly with a pandemic. For me and you, it was a great way for us to catch up and talk, wasn't it? We just played Minecraft for hours and talk about, whatever. But one of the things I do miss, or one of the things that I do feel like online games has killed, is that couch co-op sort of experience where especially when you had a friend who was more experienced in the game and they'd sort of talk you through it and help you, skip through the learning curve.
Because you told me before about you've got a friend who taught you how to play Crusader Kings too, didn't you?
Yeah, in a similar way, yeah. He literally just sat with me as I played it, was talking me through stuff.
Which, if you've never played, is one of the most complicated games.
Yes, but one of the best ones you know how to play.
I've got a friend who texts me constantly about his campaign on it. I've still not, I say campaigns. I've still not been able to sort of work out the rules, but it just sounds fantastic. And the more hours you put into it, you get more out of it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But anyway.
But yeah, if anyone's a fan of horror films, I'm not the biggest fan, but I really enjoyed it. But if you liked horror films, it has got to be one of the best games out there for you.
Oh, it's probably the most horror scenario type game out there.
Yeah.
In terms of quick, simple, and you can either play as, because you said you played the survivor, but you can actually play as the monster, if you will, that's attacking everyone.
Yeah, and apparently there's certain times of the day where there's not many killers on, so you try and play a game of Survivor, you wait in a lobby for ages, so then if you choose to be the killer at that time, then you get on games really quick.
Okay.
And I think vice versa, I think sometimes there's loads of people trying to be the killer, so it's easier to be the survivor and get into a lobby.
Yeah.
I just think that's quite a cool facet of it.
Yeah, like I say, it's a cool game, it's just one that maybe I'll try again at some point.
Yeah, I'm so I want to get the new Xbox. Once I do, I'm going to pay for Game Pass because that's what it was on. So I know it's not free, but it feels like it's free, doesn't it? All those games.
That's why I'd like to get the new Xbox and just get the Game Pass, because especially now that they've added all those Bethesda games to it as well.
Yeah, definitely. And what I did, I really enjoyed is that obviously PlayStation have a lot better exclusives, but I just bought a PS4 right at the end of the cycle.
Yeah.
So all the exclusives were already out, for me to play.
Exactly. And at the moment, all the exclusives are still on the PS4.
Exactly, exactly that. So I think I'll get a PS5 eventually. I'll probably wait, 5-6 years when all the cool games are out, and then they're like a tenner to buy as well, which is nice.
Yeah, I'm not paying £50 for Miles Morales Spider-Man when it's only a short game as it is.
Yeah, exactly. And that'll be one of those PlayStation Classics eventually, where it will be cheap as shit.
The first PS4 Spider-Man was absolute stuff for my top 10. Yeah. Alright, fair choice. Like I said, not one I've played loads, but I completely see the fascination and enjoyment in that game. Right.
Yeah, like I said, I think, maybe that's, like I say, we'll try, and when we've both got the new Xbox and Games Pass, we'll have to go with each other. That sounds weird.
Sponsorship, Microsoft. Let's give it a go. Okay. So my number 4 might be one of the games that you mentioned at the beginning that you was maybe thinking that I'd pick.
Yes.
I don't know. I think I've got 3 games that potentially you might have thought it.
Right.
I think as the list goes on, they're less likely. So this, I think, is the most... If it's pointless, this is the top... This is the one that I'm most confident with. So this was one of the first games I actually played on the PS4. In fact, I think it might have been the first game I had on the PS4, and it's the first game I brought for the PS4, and it's Rocket League.
Not the game, but what a great game that is.
Yeah, so again, I'm not very good at it, but it is a great game to play with friends. And who would have thought, soccer football would actually play so well? Not soccer football, car football. I had car in my head, so I went with soccer. Soccer. Why didn't they call it that? Why did they call it Rocket League, not soccer? Anyway.
I'm liking these tangents you're going on with Rocket League already.
Anyway, so again, not very good at it, but it is just an enjoyable, fun game, and it's one that they're continuously adding to still. I think they've now made it free to play, haven't they?
For everyone?
Yeah, for everyone. So anyone can play it, and it's one of the only cross-platform games out there. So you can play with friends on any console. And they've upgraded it, so it's not just football now. You can play ice hockey, basketball. I think it is just a really enjoyable game. And I remember, so I got my PS4 for my birthday or Christmas maybe. I've been going on about it to Lauren jokingly, and then she actually brought me one, which was one of the best things that she's ever done.
Was it a massive surprise?
Yeah, was not expecting it. When I opened it, I thought she'd done one of those classic pranks where someone put something inside a PS4 box.
Which is, fucked up if you then don't have the... it's fair enough if then you have got the PS4 later or PS5 later, whatever, but if they genuinely don't, it's just messed up.
Yeah, it's true. So I'm going to do that to my kids next year. Anyway, so she got me this for Christmas. It must have been Christmas. And then I took it around my mate Chris's house and was sort of looking for games to play. I don't think Lauren had got me any multiplayer games. So he'd mentioned Rocket League. He's been playing it on his PC. I was like, I'll download it. And we just spent most of Christmas Day playing that game. It was just eating cheese and playing Rocket League. And that's what I remember from the Christmas of 2000, must have been 2015.
The dream.
Yeah. But yeah, just a really fun game. Haven't played it a lot now. I've got another friend, Cole, who's obsessed with it and has entered a tournament. But it's one of those games that does bring a lot of people together. And it's some of the goals you see is I can't even imagine how people score and play the game to that level.
No, but I heard someone go a bit of a Rocket League rant on a podcast called TIFO. And, tangent more than a rant. And he was saying, because I think he's really high level. Because they go in you've got bronze, gold, silver, then you go to I don't know, pro, all-star champion or something like that.
Oh, I think I vaguely remember what you're on about, yeah.
And then when you get put into games, you get matched up with generally, people of your ability.
Yeah.
And then he said at the very top, a lot of people do a lot of fake stuff. So they'll fake to take the ball right, but then actually take it left and stuff like that. And he said sometimes it's really annoying because you'll get someone go in the lobby sometimes, that's not at the level of everyone else.
Yeah.
So you'd think, he's going to be shit. But because he doesn't do that type of stuff, because he's not played with the top people, that sometimes people overcomplicate it. So they end up doing really well because this person's just going a straight line. And they're like, well, he's playing against the big boys. He's definitely not going to take it left or he's going to dribble or he's going to do this fake shot. It's like, no, he just dribbled in a straight line and scored.
It's when you realise if you get to the ball fast enough, when you're close, when the sort of kickoff happens, and you just go in a straight line, like you say, at the full pelt, you can actually get there before other people and score a goal straight away.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, like you say, people do overcomplicate these sort of games. But I still think it's an enjoyable game regardless. And I actually enjoy watching. I don't watch videos and stuff, but I watch occasional GIFs on GIFs or GIFs. What do you say?
GIFs.
Yeah, GIFs is the right way. I watch occasional GIFs on Reddit of people scoring these incredible goals, and I'm like, wow, that is impressive.
Yeah, and you know what? For esports, my friend's really into Dota 2.
Yeah.
And he watches the esports coverage that when they do big tournaments and stuff like that. This is years and years ago now. He tried to make me watch a bit with him.
Yeah.
And I was just I just don't get it because I didn't really play it. So I was like, I don't get what's impressive. And obviously it's there's a lot going on in the game, so it's it was difficult to follow along because they kept cutting between. I can't remember. I think there's maybe 5 heroes each side. So there's 10 players playing. And it keeps
trying to work out who's who, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not I don't say you watch football, but yeah, but there's one ball, so you're only following the ball really. Whereas with that, you've got 10 players across a fairly big map doing different things. So it's cutting across, and I think you need to be a fairly decent player, or have played a fair amount of it, to understand, to appreciate by watching it. Whereas Rocket League, I feel like I've not played that much, I'm not that skilled, but I could watch that and, like you say, be impressed by it and enjoy it.
Yeah.
As watching other people play it.
That's fair. Right, we've done your number 4. Let's move on. What is your number 3?
This is one that if you're a big fan, you're going to hate me because you're like, why even talk about this? You know nothing about it. It's got such a hardcore following.
Oh, luckily for me, that's not going to count for me.
But I remember going on holiday with one of my friends. I used to go to Scarborough every summer with him for 3 years.
Yeah.
And, I say Scarborough, there was a caravan park about 20 minutes away, and they went for 2 weeks, and about 4 days out of the 2 weeks, they'd go into the town of Scarborough, and we would go to an internet cafe, where upstairs they had gaming computers, and it had Steam on it, and it just had hundreds of games. You could play any of them.
Oh, nice.
And we'd get like a PC next to each other, and we'd play online PC games together in the same sorts of teams and squads and stuff.
Yeah.
And so this was my first. Every year, this would be the only time I've played it. It was a game called, well, still going now, called Counter-Strike Global Offensive, or CSGO.
Never played it, but I know exactly, like, it's one of the biggest online multiplayer games of all time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Apart from Warcraft.
Yeah, and, it was, like I say, just, first of all, in Call of Duty, I've always liked, my favourite game mode was always Search and Destroy.
Yeah.
Which I'm assuming it was copied off Counter-Strike. So I like that you die and you're out, and then you're just watching your teammates play. So it's quite tactical. And then I also like that you start with money, so you can only buy like a NAF gun. And then, the more you play, the more money you have, and then the better guns you can buy. So like you start off with, you just got a pistol or something, and then, or you can save that, like if you do well in a round, you get money, but you don't have to spend it on the next round. You can save that and then buy an even better gun, or buy armour, or buy grenades and stuff like that. And it was, there's just something really appealing about that.
Yeah, it's one I probably know the least about that you mentioned so far. I know it was by Valve, wasn't it, who did Half-Life and Team Fortress, but that's as far as my knowledge goes, really.
Yeah, I think it's just like, that's probably still one of the most competitive games, I think, and that was the only thing that was a problem with it. It was as someone who wasn't and never has been a PC gamer for FPS games, so I'm not great with a mouse and keyboard, it was incredibly difficult. And some people were incredibly, incredibly skilled.
Oh, definitely. But it says, I'm reading about it here, and it says it's one of the most popular esports scene games in the world, which, like you say, people are so skilled to be able to...
Yeah, I feel like other than maybe StarCraft, it was like the biggest. But
it's still like you say, it's still going. When did it first come out?
2004, was it? Oh, no, 2012.
There must have been another version of it.
Maybe the first Counter-Strike
series must have been older than that.
Well, actually, maybe I didn't play CSGO if that's 2012.
Did you play the original?
I must have played the original then.
So the original was 2000.
Yeah, I reckon I played that. So I would have been going from like 2000 and
also known as Half-Life Counter-Strike. So it must have taken the Half-Life. They did a lot of mods with Half-Life, didn't they?
Yeah, like Gary's mods.
Yeah. So it must be one of those. Yeah, developed as a Half-Life modification.
Oh, that's cool. Well, like I say, I've not picked it with Dota 2, another amazing online game that came from Warcraft 3, wasn't it? So it's quite cool how like some games have come big have come from these little offshoots.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's one that I don't think you hear my little kid in the background making some very weird noises. It's a game that maybe we should pick up a copy of at some point and have a go. It's still going.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll get battered, but I think it'll be fun.
Oh no, yeah, it would be fun. I think I'd say if I was to play any sort of first-person shooter game online, I'd give this one a go because it's the one that I consider like the original.
Yeah, I think that's what's cool though, isn't it? Like, even if you've got a general knowledge of like the gaming industry, not even a big one, you've heard of Counter-Strike, and you know it's a big deal, don't you? You know it's like an iconic series and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I think that's quite cool.
Nice, good choice. Right. So the next one is another game that you might have thought that I'd pick, but I don't think we've ever had any discussions about this game ever. So I doubt it. It's a game that I remember being introduced to by one of my old neighbours, Richard. I used to go around his house and he used to play it all the time. And then I went home and then was like, oh yeah, that's quite a cool game. And it was a MMO, but a browser type game. And it was RuneScape.
Oh yeah, RuneScape. What an absolute classic.
So like you said with Counter-Strike, I was nowhere near an expert. So on my notes here, I've got, remember it from my childhood, one of the biggest free-to-play MMO browser games ever. Not sure I ever really knew what I was doing, but it was hugely fun.
I'm not sure I ever knew what I was doing.
It was just an enjoyable game, wasn't it? Like it was without having ever played anything like a World of Warcraft. It felt very World of Warcraft-y. But also the fact that it was free to play and all that sort of stuff. Just
what came first out of interest?
Probably World of Warcraft. This came out in 2000. I think World of Warcraft 98 maybe.
Was it?
Without looking, that's off the top of my head. Google
I might look them whilst you're talking about it. So when was RuneScape?
RuneScape came out on the 4th of January 2000.
World of Warcraft came out in 2004. So yeah, RuneScape came first. That's interesting. I wonder how much they took from RuneScape.
Yeah. Right, bear me a second. Yeah, I just really enjoyed just going on quests and being in the village and stuff like that. Like, it was an enjoyable game that you can meet up with friends. The only one that I knew who would play it would be my mate Richard. So we'd meet up occasionally in the game and go and do these quests together. And yeah, it was just all about sort of this massive RPG, and it probably started my fondness of big open world RPGs that weren't massive ones, because I've not really played that many of them, but it definitely probably started my love of the actual RPG element games out there, Skyrim, all that. I haven't got a huge amount to say about this one because I can't remember massive.
I was about to say, I had a few friends who were massively into it, and I never was. I don't know why. I don't know if it's my internet wasn't that great compared to theirs, or what. I think as well, like, I've always been very competitive with games, and that was a stage that, I first started playing online games like that.
Yeah.
And, it's hard to be competitive when you've got that many people playing.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean,
you're not going to be... competitive games, you weren't really fighting against each other and stuff like that.
It was more, though, that, like... But it was more like we had one computer we had to share between me and my sister. She was older than me. She used it a lot for like MSN at that point.
Yeah.
So like after a weekend, I'd play a little bit, and then we'd get to school, and my friends would be like 17 levels higher than me. I was like, what the fuck? So I don't know. I just felt like there's no point.
That's fair. Well, I hope at the very least, though, with this me just mentioning it, like I had to include it on my list. Probably should have done it a little bit lower, I think, maybe. But I had to include because I did really, really have fondness of it. I just can't remember a single thing about it really these days. But I hope at the very least it's listed memories of people who completely forgotten about the game.
Oh, but it has. And yeah. I wonder as well. I'm going to do a bit of research after this. I think so. I wonder what the kind of cultural impact was.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it must have influenced a lot of later games and stuff like that.
Surely.
I wonder if there's a documentary about it. I bet even like the guys who created it, I bet that's interesting. Like, just learn about them and what they did and why they did it.
Yeah. Well, it was done by a guy called Andrew Gower and his brother Paul Gower, and conceived as a text-based game. The graphics were incorporated early on.
Cool.
And I think it is still going. You can definitely.
I feel like it. I feel like I've heard that somewhere.
I'm sure that you can get it on your phones now, and I think it's the same game. It's just being updated continuously, graphic-wise and so forth. Because I remember the graphics were very sort of like it was almost like it was created on Microsoft Paint, those sort of like graphics. But yeah, enjoyable game. Really enjoyed it.
Nice one.
Right, should we move swiftly on to your number 2?
Yes. So my number 2 is a game that you've already mentioned, and isn't technically a single-player game, but I've logged. In fact, let me see if I can see how many hours I've logged into this. I've logged 241 hours into this game, and I would say 200 of those would be online, even though it's probably predominantly a single-player game.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
And that is Crusader Kings 2.
Okay.
Yeah,
just got mentioned.
Yeah, exactly.
I can see why you didn't mention too much when I was talking about it earlier.
It's why I tried to stay away from it. Yeah, but yeah, that's what I used to at uni. I had 3 mates. We used to play it, and we'd be in the same room. We'd stick on. We'd find like a Netflix TV show that no one would watch. We'd binge, and we'd spend a day where we'd all be playing on the same map. So like, I would maybe start as a count in Ireland. One of my mates might stay as a count in like Poland, and another one might start as a count in Spain. So we're like miles away from each other. So for the first, 10 hours, 5 hours, we wouldn't be, we'd all be quite low and wouldn't be nowhere near each other. But then as we sort of all tried to take over the land in our area, we'd like form alliances, and like it's so much more interesting playing with like actual people as well. Because
do you want to very quickly just explain what the game is?
Yes,
I'm going to say this as well to the listeners. It sounds boring as fuck.
It's a medieval based game, and we're sort of during the Vikings. So you can start from like 800 up to 1000, 1100, somewhere like that.
Yeah.
Depending on whereabouts you want to start and when. And you take over a piece of land. You can be a king, a queen. You can be a sort of just a count who's got a piece of land. You can be Vikings. And then what you do is you play through it. And what's cool is there's a little bit of an RPG element. So your character has children, and your character dies. And when they die, your oldest child, depending on how you've got your inheritance, normally the oldest male child, you take over, and you can pass on like traits. So if your character's a genius, your child may not always, but might bring on the genius thing. And if you sleep with a relative, they might become inbred and lose stats, get negative stats when they're born even. And then, so and that's what's cool is you can just take over the world. You can become this like dynasty where your family become emperors and take over the world, or you can just sort of stay in your patch of land, just building your country trying to stay alive through sort of diplomacy. And that's what's really cool, like I say, is that because of that, you create your own story, I guess, with it. And like you could just get stupid things, like you could join cults and things like that, and you could like become like a duelist and then like challenge people to duels, and you could either kill off a character or you could be killed yourself. And it's hard to explain, but it's crazy. And like I said, we had so many games where we did these things where I would take over, I'd become like the Emperor of Britain, my friend had become like King of Spain, my other friend had become king, and like he'd get his way into the Byzantine Empire and try and marry his way to becoming the emperor there. And then we'd maybe sometimes join forces and make alliances, and then one of us would betray another one because we got a bit bored and just create a bit of drama.
Well, I'd recommend for any listeners who are listening, this sounds intriguing, but I'm still unsure. Go onto the subreddit, search for Crusader Kings, and just read some of the stories about what people have done, because people like almost create not novels, but sort of little mini stories about sort of the games that they've played on there, and it's impressive.
It is impressive, and I don't know, like you say, it's one of the most detailed games I think must be like ever made.
Yeah. Definitely the amount of detail into it, and like you say, like no two games are the same, are they?
No, and I don't know, like I just think there's something really cool about the fact that it's got this RPG element. Like, have you ever played any of the Total War games, like Medieval Total War, Rome Total War?
I've downloaded Total War Rome recently. I've just not played it yet.
Yeah, that is one of my favourites. It's similar to that if you've ever played that, but there's not as much a focus on the battles. You can't actually fight the battles. You can have battles, but they're sort of like simmed almost.
Yeah.
You get your army, stack of army there, stack of army, and generally speaking, on with more forces wins. But I think it's the RPG element of the fact that your family, that you're marrying these people, and sometimes you're doing it for politics. Sometimes you're doing it almost for like, is it eugenics they call it, like for breeding essentially, where you're going, ooh, this woman's got the attractive trait which makes plus 10 people like you of the opposite sex. I'll marry her to hope my children get it. Or sometimes like you go into war with a country that's bigger, and you're like, right, so I'll marry this princess of Spain so I can try and get Spain to come in and help me.
Yeah.
I just, like I said, I just think that's awesome.
Well, maybe what we should do is get Crusader Kings free, so it's a game in which you've got a rough idea of how to play it, but haven't played it yet, and we should both learn how to play that one together. Yeah,
sounds good to me. And as well, I've heard a lot of people say that one's more, it's more of the RPG element.
Yeah.
So it's not, I think obviously it can be as intimidating as the other game, if you know what I mean, in terms of like, it can be as detailed and nuanced, and there's as many things to do, but it's not always, it doesn't have to be that. Like, you can play it almost not worrying about your country so much, but about your character and what they do.
Yeah.
So that'd be good fun.
Yeah, sounds good. Right, I was going to suggest a mini timer while I sorted out my little one, because I don't know if listeners and yourself could hear that. There was quite a bit of grizzling during that. but I think I've managed to settle him somehow, which I'm impressed. This is our dedication to the podcast, or my dedication to the podcast. This is #dadlife. Right. My number 2 is the final game that I've definitely talked to you about, but I don't think you would have included this one or thought that I would have mentioned this one, because it's a bit different. It's not one that you would instantly think of as an online game, but technically speaking, it is a 100% online game, even though it's a couch co-op game.
Okay.
And it's Jackbox.
Yeah, great game. But do you mean online in the sense that you need an online connection?
Yeah, you can't physically can't play the game without having an online connection.
Yeah, I mean, I would never have thought to pick that, but now you said it, I'm like, no, that's fine with me.
Exactly. Like, I don't think there's any argument that it's not an online game. It's just a brilliant couch co-op game, party game. Have friends over, have a few drinks, and play. I'm not going to specifically pick a Jackbox activity pack. I am going to harness them all under one roof, because there's so many different games, and each party pack has 1 or 2 amazing games, and the others are mediocre. But they're just great fun. We've spent New Year's, I think it was, didn't we? We downloaded a few of them, playing a couple of the games. They're just a lot of fun. Although it makes me realise just how inappropriate my wife is on some of them. They've got a game that's very similar to Cards Against Humanity, except instead of having the cards for you, you write what the cards would be effectively. And it gets incredibly inappropriate fast. And it's where my wife thinks she's funny just by saying a few key words that are inappropriate. It's like, no, that still doesn't make any sense. But she's like, it's funny though. It's inappropriate, Lauren.
Yeah, there's so many good games on there.
Yeah.
So many. Like, and it's just stupid, isn't it? It's just like...
Oh, yeah. And it's they are, some of the games are stupid. The commentators are always have a bit of a laugh, don't they? One of my favourite ones to play is a game called Drawful on it, which I think spun out to be its own game at one point.
Yeah, is that from the first Jackbox?
It might be.
Yeah.
But, it's basically Pictionary, but the thing about it is they don't tell you to begin with that there's only one colour and you can't erase the pictures you've drawn. So you make an error and it's on this tiny screen that you're drawing with, and it just gets ridiculous.
And I think though sometimes it's like that's what makes it so much fun. Knows how terrible some of them look. And how the fuck am I meant to guess what this is?
Yeah. So what happens in that one, for those who've never played it, is one player. So say me, Mike, Shauna, and Lauren were playing the game. I would draw a monkey eating a banana or a giraffe in hot pants or something like that. It's a ridiculous topic. Monkey eating a banana is not that ridiculous, but a giraffe in hot pants. And you draw it, and then everyone gets to see the picture. And then they have to write down what they think it is, but not. So sort of a phrase to sort of trick the other players. So like someone might say instead of a giraffe in a hot pants, there might be like a giraffe in some shorts or something like that. So then on the next screen, all these categories appear, and every player has to select the right one. And if they select the right ones, they get a point. If they select one that someone else has written, then that person gets points. So it's quite an interesting game and sort of a slight variation of Pictionary. But it's a lot of fun. Yeah,
I think as well, if anyone's interested in that and hasn't played, there's quite a few packs. I would recommend any that have Fibbage in. I think there's Fibbage 1, Fibbage 2, Fibbage 3. Fibbage is my favourite by a mile.
Yeah.
And that's where they'll come up with like a fact or something like that, but they'll miss a key word. It's like 80% of people in the US believe that blank is a god, and then you've got to put it in what you think it is, and it's rather than trying to be silly, it's trying to put something that sounds that would be believable, but they are always like silly in a way, aren't they? They're always like, what? Like,
you're
people believe
shocked
this
about the actual answer.
Yeah, and so you've almost got to go for something that's like weird but could be true, because that's generally what it is. It's a weird answer, but you're like, oh yeah, I guess I could see how people might think that.
Yeah.
And
they might select Jesus for that, because people might be stupid enough to think he's a god, or Donald Trump.
That's controversial.
Well, Jesus isn't a god.
Well, he is. He's part of the Holy Trinity, isn't he? Look at that. Benno's education coming back there.
But he's not a god.
He is God, though.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's a son of God.
But he's also God.
Would you call Hercules a god?
No, but he's a demigod.
Yeah, so what? So that's not a god.
But Jesus is technically... I mean, I don't know why I'm debating this, because I don't give a shit, but...
God planted a seed inside Mary, who was a human, so therefore Jesus isn't a god.
I love that thing. That, you know, when Facebook groups were popular?
Yeah.
And there was one where it was like, one woman's lie that went too far, or something like that.
I was about to say these exact same words to you. Yeah. The story of God, or story of Jesus, is literally one woman's affair that's gone too far.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
But yeah, Jackbox games, if you've never played them and you fancy getting some mates over once lockdown's over with a few beers, highly recommend it. Right, shall we go on to your honourable mentions?
Yep. I've never played this game, so I have no real knowledge of it, but it's just from things I've read. A bit like you with Crusader Kings. You've never played it, but you have, or not played it much, but you've got a appreciation for it.
Yeah.
And that's EVE Online, which is a massively online multiplayer game where you are in control of like a ship, I think.
Yeah, I think I've got a friend who plays it.
And there's stories of like, because there's like genuine money involved, like a lot of money involved in this game. And like there's stories of like these big battles, because when a ship's destroyed, that's it. And there was this one where these two guilds, I guess, I don't know if that's the right word on EVE, but that's the word I'd use in like a RuneScape, went to war, and there's this famous battle. Someone's written a book about famous battles in EVE.
Really?
Yeah, and this battle, again, top of my head, I can't remember exactly, but costs like, I don't know, let's say £10,000 worth of money. That's the cost of ships that were done. Yeah.
I don't know what that noise was. I do apologise. So yeah, that battle cost how long? How much?
I think, I want to say like £10,000.
Wow.
I'm going to Google it now. Oh, no. Nearly $400,000.
Which is a little bit more.
Yeah, so, that's how much it cost one of the biggest battles. Isn't that mental?
insane. Like for an online game, for an actual real war, that's actually pretty cheap.
Yeah. But I can't believe it. And apparently there's like a real, genuine economy in there that's running. And people on there are worth like a lot of money, like what they've got. Yeah. And they could sell it and get the money from it, which I think is crazy as well.
Yeah, definitely. Right, let's have 30 seconds time out. Bear with me a minute.
Sorry, am I in trouble?
Yeah, you have to sit on the naughty step.
Yeah.
What's wrong there then? Hey, I'm probably going to keep this in the podcast.
All the noises.
Well, yeah, it's going to be hard to edit it out now. Then.
I'm about to say, yeah.
But it's part of the charm. Oh, excuse you, Big Bert. So I've got 2 honourable mentions that I don't think I'm going to talk loads about, and they are Habbo Hotel and Neopets. Yeah, it's just like Habbo Hotel was like the original sort of social media site. It must have been around about sort of MySpace time, wasn't it? But
yeah.
You used to go on and use an avatar, and you used to be able to just talk to random people online, and that was it. There wasn't really much more to it. And Neopets was like a bit like Pokemon on a browser, and then that was it. Didn't really know what I was doing.
Neopets a bit like a Tamagotchi?
Yeah, yes. Tamagotchi is probably a better name.
I remember, I feel like, again, I haven't really played Habbo Hotel, but I feel like I seem to remember things costing quite a lot of money.
Yeah, so you used to be able to buy stuff to design your rooms, and that cost money. So, like, for me, my room was completely barren.
Yeah, exactly, there you go.
I would not pay for anything.
I'm about to say, could you make any in-game money, or was it only by actually paying physical money?
I've got no idea. I don't think I got that invested.
Well, there you go, that's the next thing. I'd want someone to message in and tell me if there's any way to make money on Habbo Hotel other than just
using your credit card.
Yeah, basically.
I have, however, got an honourable dismention.
Yeah.
A dishonourable mention. Why did I go with honourable dismention instead of dishonourable mention?
I didn't even. Do you know what? I just went with it.
Yeah, you
did.
Committed. And basically, fuck you, Fortnite.
Why? Fuck you. I mean, I don't think I've ever played a single. I
hate the kids who play it. I hate the game. I just don't like it. Fuck you, Fortnite.
Like I said, I've never played it. I don't know. Maybe if I played it, I'd love it. Have you played it?
Yeah.
Oh,
it might partly be that I'm shit, but I've played PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, and that's so much better.
I do find it odd. Like, I remember when they first, sort of came out, and they were competing to see which one would be, the bigger of the two.
Yeah.
And it seemed that players, and no one was going to win for a while. I felt like, and I would look at both before I played either. I was like, oh, that looks such a better game. But then obviously, it took over in the end, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't understand what was so big about Fortnite. I just didn't get it. And then, I hate that these sort of creators have just monetized. It's a massive loot box franchise now, isn't it? Is it loot box, or is it just that you can buy new different skins?
It's just skins. I don't think there's anything you can buy to affect gameplay at all. But it's become, and do you know what? This is what's the thing about it is it gets a lot of credit, doesn't it? I don't think there's actually that much real negativity towards it. But
apart from me saying "fuck you," Fortnite.
Yeah, but you're sort of in the minority a little bit there.
Oh, I definitely am.
And I don't know. Like, it's preying on young children. Stealing credit cards from parents, begging parents for to spend a ridiculous amount of money on them. And I can't help but feel it's not right, because they're picking all the things that are popular, which is smart from a business model point of view. Endgame came out, I'm sure they had Thanos, I feel like, and that was big and stuff like that, and I don't know.
Well, it's the modern day equivalent of that kid who can't afford the Adidas tracksuits for his non-school uniform days, so it comes in 2 stripes, but their friends have got the Thanos avatar, but they can't afford it.
Yeah.
So they feel ashamed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't like the game.
No, I'm not. Like I said, I've never played it, so I won't say I don't like it, but I do find it strange how successful it's become in comparison to other, with how big Call of Duty is. I felt like, I can't remember what that one's called now. Warzone. Is it Warzone, maybe? I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm surprised that wasn't the one that sort of won it out.
I played that one and I enjoyed that one as well.
Yeah.
Just don't get Fortnite. It's the cartoony graphics that appeal to the kids, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of adults that like it as well.
True. Anyway, let's get this rant over. It's not a massive rant, it's just don't enjoy it. And move on to our number 1 choices. What have you got?
This one's easy for me. This is probably the one that people think of when you hear online games, and it's World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
I think,
it is a game that everyone thinks of. I've just never played it myself.
Yeah, well, I think anyone who old listeners, if you listen to all the podcasts, you'll know that I like fantasy books, and this is a big fantasy world. You'll know that I like Warcraft 3, and this is, the same series. It was also, again, the first time I played it was at that internet cafe that I talked about at Scarborough. Me and my friend got a free account.
You two went to the beach for the right reasons, didn't you?
I'm about to say, that's it. We would come out paler from a holiday than when we left. And, and then when we came home, we both bought it. Because I think you could buy the copy there. And it was, I think we bought it, I want to say it was on offer, it was £10 for like it had loads of discs you had to install on your computer, and you got a 30-day free trial, and then after that it was like £10 a month or something. But I feel like you could buy cards, where you could buy like 3 months worth of it. So I think sometimes I'd ask my mum for that. And we played for a bit, and then I stopped, and then I picked it back up when I was 15.
Yeah.
And I played for 3 months maybe, and loved it. Me and my mate played it, we joined a guild together, we pretty much played all the time. So we used it more, again, as a, way to chat if you were going out and seeing each other.
Yeah.
So we'd just talk over mic about, anything really. Because sometimes it was very, I played it when it was called Vanilla. I think it got easier as it went on.
Okay.
And they re-released the Vanilla service where it wasn't as easy to level up. So a lot of it when I played was grinding, just going out and just killing 200 things to go up one level before I could take on the next mission. Yeah. So I wasn't powerful enough. And so you just chat as you spent an hour just doing that. And then I remember it took so long to get a mount. I feel like you had to be level 35 before you could get a horse.
Oh, okay.
And I remember that being such a big moment. When I got to that level, I'd spent so many hours on it. And then after that, I just, again, it petered out because it became very grindy. And then, because we were getting higher up this guild we joined, you had to be on at a certain time, to do certain things that you're let's go on at a certain time and do a raid, or let's go on at a certain time and we're going to do this together. And all of a sudden it became almost rather than being fun, almost like a job.
Yeah.
It's I can't bother, but I've got to go on at this time and spend 3 hours on it. And like I said, when I first started it, for me, it was more just me and my mate doing it and chatting and having a laugh, and then it became something that I didn't join up for. So that's why I ended up leaving it. But it's something that I feel like if I didn't have the job I have, it would be something I'd probably dip my toe back into every now and then, because it was just really, really cool.
Yeah. Well, the fact that people that you say do grind so much, it shows how big the game must be to some people to sort of put so much time and effort into it.
Yeah,
and it's had such a cultural impact. There's a new show that I've just started watching. Well, I finished watching
the Apple TV one.
Say again?
The Apple TV one?
No. Oh, I'd forgotten about that one. This is very similar. So there's 2 shows then. One of them is, what's it called, the one on Apple TV?
Ravens something?
Raven's Quest.
Yeah.
It's got, I've forgotten his name now, from...
Always Sunny.
Rob McElroy, something like that.
Yeah, who now, along with Ryan Reynolds, owns Wrexham Football Club in non-league, which is
bizarre purchase in the world.
Weirdest thing in the world.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a great show in which it shows about developers of this sort of World of Warcraft type game, and it's a great comedy. If you've not watched it, I highly recommend it. And another one called Dead Pixels, which is on Channel 4, and it's about the players of this sort of game. I've forgotten what the game that they play in it, but it's very World of Warcraft. Sort of in their job they're playing it instead of working and stuff like that. And it's just the impact that these, they're obviously just based on World of Warcraft. There's no other game that's that big that you'd sort of be parodying. It shows that, another great parody of it, not parody, but sort of cultural
South Park.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, that was so good.
One of the best episodes of South Park.
But I think as well what was so good about that, particularly someone who's played it, is so much of it was genuinely taking the piss out. You know what I mean? If you'd played it, you're I know exactly what they mean here and stuff like that.
Well, didn't they actually create it in the game?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, the graphics were it. Yeah,
which is incredible. But yeah,
I'm surprised World of Warcraft signed off on it, knowing what South Park's
They probably didn't, but South Park get away with all the shit that they do.
Yeah, but maybe.
I mean, the only thing that South Park's never been able to do is show the image of Muhammad. They managed to get away with everything else.
Yeah, with all the Charlie Hebdo stuff like that, you wouldn't risk it, would you?
Exactly, it's not worth it. But it was based on that they sort of wanted to do the episode. But yeah, anyway, this is getting too, again, political, so we'll move away from that side. Yeah, great game. Never, I say great game, never played it, but I know the impact it has on people. And the reason that I've never played it is because I just think I'll lose my life.
Yeah.
I'll sink too many hours into it. It's not worth the risk.
Yeah, and I think you would. I don't think you as being anyone. It is addictive. Well, like I said, I never got properly
people have had
addicted,
their lives ruined,
but I think I've carried on. I'm pretty sure I've read about people dying because they weren't like eating and drinking properly.
Which probably shouldn't be a reason why it's such a great game. But yeah, good choice though. My number one is as far away from World of Warcraft as you possibly get, but still just as nerdy.
Okay.
It's a game I discovered in lockdown, and I think that's why it stuck with me. It's been probably the biggest online game that I've played in a very, very long time, and it sort of helped me and some mates in Bristol get through lockdown. And it's Tabletop Simulator.
Oh yeah.
So again, such a weird game for a number one choice, but everyone who knows me knows I'm a massive board game fan. And what Tabletop Simulator does is effectively it allows people to create custom board games. So people have made like every board game out there on this simulator game, and you just go on there and you can play with a bunch of friends the board games that you play in real life, and it's just helped us get through lockdown. That's why.
That's how you played your weird bird game.
Say again.
That's how you played your weird bird game.
Yeah, that is how I got into Wingspan. So we played Wingspan on it, played Ticket to Ride, played that Spartacus game. We had a game of that. Like it's just it is.
I really, by the way, I feel like I think about that at least once a week.
What, the Spartacus game?
Yeah. Was it amazing?
When the re-release comes out, we'll have to get it.
Yeah. Do you know when it comes out?
No, but they're definitely remaking it. I think they've lost the licensing to the images and stuff like that. So it's the same game, but they're just not allowed the images. It's still Spartacus. But yeah, it's just a fantastic game. It's really not much. I've told you have to get it, haven't I? It's not numerous.
Yeah.
But we're now out of the lockdown, so it's not worth getting, I don't think, if you're only a casual. But it deserves to be my number because it was just such a great game this year.
My only problem with it is why I didn't end up getting it is like I like the physicalness of a board game.
Yeah.
That like I was like, oh no, I think that'd take away a lot of the enjoyment for me.
Yes, I semi agree with that. It's just like I said, it was a way of me chatting to my mate.
Oh yeah, definitely,
and keeping in touch with. Yeah, it's weird. Number one choice. Not a huge amount to say about it because it's not really. It's the mods and stuff that make it. The game itself is literally just a hand cursor that allows you to pick up cards and move the items on a board. But it's just the fact it has just impacted me so nicely during the lockdown. That's why it deserves to be here.
Oh, 100%. Anything that helps with mental health is worth being on there. And I think that's something that, you're a big gamer, you and your friends, that's how you guys, typically communicate. Well, not communicate, but hang out, isn't it? It's a easy way to do it. And obviously, pandemic stops that completely. But so that was a way around it, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
And it gave you a way to play games that would have cost a hell of a lot more money.
Yeah. So but I'm interested in getting Wingspan now because of it.
Well, not just interested, it's your favourite game, isn't it, of all time?
Yeah.
Game. So, like I say, with 4, you wouldn't have gambled, I don't know, whatever it is, 60, 80 quid on a game that's about birds if you hadn't played it like that.
Definitely not. Yeah, so that's my number one choice, Tabletop Simulator. And then you get it on Steam.
Nice.
Right, so the game that you thought I might have picked hasn't appeared.
Yes.
What game is that? And would you like to relegate one of the games you picked to put it in place?
Yes, so let me look back at my list to see what I'd relegate. I would still keep World of Warcraft number 1.
Yeah.
I'd still keep Crusaders 2. I think I'd replace Counter-Strike.
Oh, okay.
Even though that wasn't number 5 with this. Because this game was at number 3, I think, and then I took it out because I was like, actually, you said you weren't sure about this one. Now I picked a lot more quicker than you this time, so I was like, I'll leave it out.
I went a bit sort of like, I chose a bit unusual games, ones that you wouldn't necessarily think of as online. Necessarily. Yeah.
And yeah, it was Minecraft.
Yeah, I thought that's the game that you was going to say. The reason I didn't pick it?
Because you thought I was going to?
No, because it's already appeared in one of my lists.
Oh yes, true.
It was number 2 in my top 5 games.
But yeah, we've sunk a lot of hours into it, haven't
100%.
we?
100%. Yeah, would definitely call it one of the top online games. I think I'd probably put it as number 2, as of current, number 2.
What for your
Tabletop Simulator somehow nudged it out because.
Well, but I think it deserves number 1, Tabletop Simulator, for especially people listening to this who love board games as well. Like that'll be something that they maybe haven't heard of, and they're like, "Shit, that sounds amazing."
Yeah. But again, this is why these lists are interesting because games and TV shows and films and stuff they're constantly changing. Like in my rom-coms, I put a film that I'd not seen before into my number 1 choice. and I've just, like, Tabletop Simulator, I hadn't really sunk that many hours into it when we first started the podcast, but actually I've done a lot more on it since, and actually it's grown up to be one of my favourite games. But also, I don't think I would have thought about it necessarily previously on top games. It's only because we're thinking about this one. But that's why making these lists is so hard as well.
Yeah, there's also why it's so interesting doing like almost subgenres of like just rather than games, because it makes you think of things that, like I said, I think my top 5 games will change after doing this. You know, I look back at all my top 5s.
Yeah.
For games, I think my top 5 might look quite different by the end.
So that's why at some point we're planning on doing the top 5 revisited, aren't we?
Yeah.
And we're also planning on doing 5 more top 5s, because there's other games and stuff and films and TV shows that we want to talk about, but they didn't quite cut the mustard, if you will. Is that the right phrase?
Yeah, I mean,
it doesn't sound right.
I don't think I've heard that phrase in a while, but yeah, I think it is right. You used it correctly. I just don't know why you used it at all.
You know what? Fuck off.
Made the cut?
Yeah, made the cut probably would have been better.
But you weren't wrong. Just sure.
So we'd like to discuss those at some point. Or even if not necessarily that they didn't make our top 5s, we've just thought of them since. So I meant to actually mention this at the top of this episode. I gravely did my top 5 comedies wrong. There's 2 films that I've recently thought of. It's like, they are my favourite comedies of all time.
Tell me off air.
Say again?
Tell me off air. I
told you one of them off air, just so you aware.
Oh.
We did talk about it the other day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's why we'd like to sort of do a revisited on some of these categories, or 5 more on some of these categories.
As well, like, we never cheat, ever. We not once cheated and said, what's your top 5, just so we've got things to say about whatever. But I think maybe for revisited we will.
Yeah.
Because I think we should try and either, rewatch the films.
Yeah.
Each other's films as well as our own. And if it's like a game, like, maybe like Search Raptor will be hard to get. Maybe we watch some videos of it, of like a playthrough or whatever. Yeah. So we've got, I don't know, fresher things to talk about.
Yes, a fresh idea of the game or the show or media.
Yeah.
To discuss it, definitely. Right, so those were our top 5 online games. Top 6 technically for Mike.
Yes.
Well, top 6 technically for me as well, because Minecraft would have been there if I hadn't picked it previously. But yeah. We hope you enjoyed the list. Let us know whether you agree or disagree with any of the choices.
What are we doing next week again?
Oh, let's have a look. I've got a schedule in front of me. I think next week is one that I'm excited for.
I was about to say, with the power of editing.
Next week, yeah, I'm excited. It's our top 5 movie soundtracks.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I've got them, and I'll tell you something. My number 1 is the most baller choice.
Do you think you've won already this week?
Oh, absolutely. Like, when I thought of this, I texted my friend instantly and told him what it was, and he sent me back a meme in response, like that he'd got on his phone, like sort of like prepared for if anyone ever started this conversation. And it was like, it's one in which you wouldn't necessarily think of, but then when you hear it or hear someone mention it and then listen to the lyrics, it's quite possibly the best soundtrack and music made for a film ever.
Okay, I'm interested.
Yeah. So we'll leave it at that, and we'll discuss it next week.
Perfect.
If you agree with our choices or want to let us know what your top 5 movie soundtracks are, by the way, we say soundtracks, not scores. So we want original music or songs that sort of like artists have written, not actual sort of movie scores in there. Let us know on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Mammon Podcast, or you can email us at mammonpodcast@hotmail.com. We've also just recently launched a YouTube channel, which we plan on putting our podcast episodes on, as well as various YouTube videos explaining, for example, as of last week, our top 5 comedy films. We've picked our top 5 comedy moments from those films. We've put them on a little playlist, so tune in to have a look and see what they are.
If we ever get good at editing, we can try and edit a video with the moments on.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, so just subscribe to us on YouTube, and then hopefully in the coming few weeks we'll have a bit of content that will start to be uploaded onto there. Right, I think I'm going to head off, and I will speak to you next week, Mike.
Speak to you next week. Bye, everyone.